It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. This is going to be my promo breakdown for Season 4, Episode 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, which is going to be called Another Day in the Diamond. So, before I jump into this promo breakdown, I do want to talk a little bit about the structure of my Fear the Walking Dead videos. So, these are going to be basically the videos that I'm going to cover for Fear the Walking Dead. I'm going to be doing the reactions every Sunday to Fear the Walking Dead, just like I do for The Walking Dead. The promo breakdowns, just like this one. Every Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we are going to have the weekly Q&As, and this one is not focused on Fear the Walking Dead necessarily, just like Walking Dead was. This is going to be general, so we're just going to generally talk about everything, even the comics. But that's basically it. In terms of any other videos, I might do additional videos here and there when there's a need for it, but I'm not going to do any type of review or any type of long discussion video for Fear the Walking Dead. But overall, just to share my thoughts about the last episode, I think it was a good episode. It was a little bit slower than I would have liked, but it was definitely good in terms of the storyline that we got and how it highlighted basically Morgan's crossover mostly. We basically didn't even see any of the Fear the Walking Dead characters until the last 5 minutes. So I think it was a great episode. I loved how they had Morgan crossing over. I loved the cameos that we got at the beginning of the episode with Carol, Rick, and Jesus. I thought that if you're going to have any characters be in this episode because of Morgan crossing over or because of this crossover story, it would be these three. Of course, Jesus wasn't in that before, but there was that conversation between Jesus and Morgan in the finale of Season 8 of Walking Dead. So because of that, it made sense for Jesus to be visiting Morgan in the Fear the Walking Dead episode. But overall, I loved the episode. I like these new characters that we're seeing. Althea, John, and of course we know Morgan. But I think that these are some great additions to the cast of Fear the Walking Dead. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens going forward and how everything comes together in terms of Fear storylines and this storyline. Because, of course, at this point, we don't know where anything stands in terms of where we left off last time in Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 and where it picked up here. So I think that's one of the important parts of this season, and I'm interested and excited about that. But let's jump right into the promo breakdown here. Next episode of AMC's. The promo basically starts with this shot of Strand looking through the fences of what looks to be this new community, and he's looking at a bunch of walkers outside, and at this point we do know that all of the other characters from Fear the Walking Dead, the original cast, Strand, Luciana, Nick, Madison, and Alicia are going to be in this new community. And this community seems to be in a stadium of some sort. So that's going to be very interesting to see and how they got there. But we do have a shot of Strand looking outside at the walkers. And then this shot of the community here. Of course, like I said, it seems to be in a stadium. Fear the Walking Dead. And this is probably outside of the community. So the actual community seems to be inside the stadium itself. Strong wall. We have a scene of Madison talking to someone who has her at gunpoint saying, we have a settlement, strong walls, plenty of food. So it seems like this is at the front gates of this new community that they're in, and maybe this guy who's holding the gun to Madison's head is this new villain, this new big bad of Fear the Walking Dead. And maybe Madison is trying to plead her case, why they shouldn't kill them and why they should just join their community, or maybe she's doing this to throw them off and get the upper hand on them. Of course, she is holding the walkie, which we do see Luciana holding as well later on in the promo, but it's going to be interesting to see both what this group is all about and also what led up to this confrontation and also what they have going on in this community. Plenty of food, good people. She also does mention good people, and then we have this shot of Luciana kissing Nick. So, of course, they're going to be reunited in this season, so that's going to be interesting. But one thing that's very cool is that Luciana's going out and maybe scavenging, maybe doing something, but Nick is staying back. And that's very different than what Nick was doing before. Nick was always trying to get out there, trying to basically get out of the community, get out of any community that they came upon. But now we are seeing a bit of a different Nick, which is interesting. And we do have Alicia sitting in the back of the car as well. So Luciana, Alicia, and someone else are leaving. Now it doesn't look like this is the same group that find Morgan and John and Althea, because Nick was also there. But it's possible that Nick ends up leaving, joining them, and that's when they find Morgan and John. But that's unlikely at this point. I think that the events of what's happening here happen way before they find Morgan and John and Althea. And then in this shot we have Luciana and Madison. So it seems like Madison was driving the car that we just saw. And we have a voiceover of Nick saying, "Can you promise that she'll be okay this time?" or something along those lines. And I think that goes back to how they were separated and how he thought she was dead. And maybe Nick is talking to Madison and basically asking her, "Can you promise me that you're going to keep Luciana safe?" or something along those lines.
Make sure she comes back this time.
And then we'd have a quick shot of Luciana watching Nick in the rear window mirror as they're basically going out. And then we have this shot of these trucks. Now this seems to be around the stadium, their community as well. So maybe this is also the new big bad, the new villains, and maybe we're going to see a big massive fight in this episode between them, or the lead up to some sort of big fight between them.
Lock the gate.
We have Alicia saying lock the gates, and this seems to be connected to the last shot as well. So it seems like this group of people are going to be coming in, maybe attacking them. Now this takes place at night, and when Madison was talking to one of the guys from the other group, it was during the day. So I wonder if that happens first and then they think the group has left and then they come back later on, or whether these are two separate things completely. We have Nick looking at a map with a circle around some sort of area. I'm not sure what this exactly means. Maybe they are somewhere in the middle of the circle, and maybe inside the circle it's safe, and maybe outside they haven't scavenged or looked at, and maybe Nick is looking at the map to see where Luciana and the others have gone. So maybe something along those lines.
If your family is out there.
But we do have this scene with Nick talking to a little girl in that community saying, "I'll make sure that your family's out there," or something like that. So I wonder if Nick is looking at the map to possibly go look for this girl's parents or something along those lines, or they're just putting shots together and they're not really connected. And then we have this shot of the flag, which we did see in the previous episode as well. I'm not sure what these numbers mean. I'm not sure what the flags are. But I think we will get a glimpse of what they might be in the next episode.
Is it yours?
We have Alicia talking to Althea, and this of course is right after what happened at the end of last episode, which is the group being captured by Alicia, Strand, and Nick. And we have Alicia asking Althea, "So the flags aren't yours?" referring to the flags that we just saw. And Althea of course nods no.
You think we are?
We have Morgan saying, "We're not who you think we are." Of course, referring to they're not the same group of people that is at war with them, that has some sort of conflict with them. They're not the villains. They're not the bad guys. So they're not part of the same group that, they're talking about, that possibly attacked them or something. But we have everyone on their knees. We have Nick there. We have Strand there and Alicia. Now, one thing that's very interesting is how this parallels everyone on their knees in the finale of season 6, which I thought was pretty interesting because Morgan, of course, wasn't in that lineup. We have this shot of a few walkers inside some sort of gooey water, muddy water or something. We have Madison coming up from the back, stabbing them in the head and killing them. We have a shot of Luciana screaming, "Ditch the truck." And she has a sniper rifle and she says, "Ditch the truck." And then we have a scene of someone stuck in a truck and walkers surrounding it. And we do see Nick there. We might potentially see a situation where Nick is stuck in this truck and the walkers are surrounding him. And Luciana's trying to give him directions to get out of there.
So ends our broadcast.
We have this scene of Strand saying, "So end our broadcast day," or something like that. I can't quite make out what he's saying. But we have Madison there, and this is basically, I think, still part of that same scene that we saw earlier on with Luciana saying goodbye to Nick, them driving away. So I think that the group of people that are in this car are Strand, Madison, Alicia, and Luciana. And maybe Nick is going to join them later on.
So ends our broadcast day.
We have a shot of someone shooting a rifle, and then this shot of these group of walkers that are pouring out, but I think Madison might have been stuck in there because of the shot earlier on we saw Madison come out of the water and stab one of the walkers in the head. So I think that scene is connected to this, and Madison might be in one of those things in the back. We did see Luciana briefly as well. And then we have a shot of the truck, the SWAT truck driving away. Maybe everyone is inside. Very excited for the next episode. It seems like it's a great one. It seems like we're going to get introduced to a new group of villains, which is going to be pretty cool. But that's basically it for my promo breakdown. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for future uploads. Like the Facebook page of this channel to join our Walking Dead community. Join us live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for a Q&A session. See you all there.